Right now, as you're watching this, you're probably thinking about three things at once. What you need to do tomorrow, that conversation from last week. Whether you're wasting your time watching this video, Alan Watts died in 1973, but he understood your anxiety better than any therapist you'll ever pay $200 an hour. And what he discovered will either set you free or make you realize you've been fighting a battle that never existed. Let me show you what I mean. Here's what's happening in your mind right now. You're anxious about your job, your relationships, your future, whether you're good enough, whether you're doing enough, whether you're being enough. And here's the trap. The more you try to fix your anxiety, the worse it gets. You try meditation apps, you try journaling, you try positive affirmations, and for a moment, maybe it works. But then 3 a.m. hits, and you're staring at the ceiling again, mind racing. Alan Watts would tell you something that sounds insane at first. You're not anxious about the future. You're anxious about a future that doesn't exist. Let me explain. Watts spent decades studying Eastern philosophy, and he discovered something the West completely misses. The root of anxiety isn't your circumstances. It's your relationship with time. Think about it. Right now, in this moment. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Your heart is beating. You're breathing. You're alive. In this moment, there's no problem. But your mind does something fascinating and destructive. It projects into a future that hasn't happened yet, and it treats that projection as real. Watts called this living in your head instead of living in reality. He said, and I quote, "We are living in a culture entirely hypnotized by the illusion of time, in which the so-called present moment is felt as nothing but an infinitesimal hairline between an all-powerfully causative past and an absorbingly important future." Translation? You're so busy thinking about what might happen that you're missing what is happening. And here's the kicker. That future you're anxious about, it never arrives. Because when tomorrow comes, it's just another now, and you'll be anxious about the next future. You're on a hamster wheel, chasing a moment that doesn't exist. Now here's where Watts gets really interesting. He introduced something called the backwards law. The idea is simple but profound. The more you try to control your anxiety, the more anxious you become. Think about the last time someone told you to just relax or stop overthinking. Did it work? Of course not, because now you're anxious about being anxious. Watts would say you're doing what he called using fire to put out fire. So what's the solution? This is going to sound counterintuitive, but stay with me. Stop fighting your anxiety. Let it be there. Watts said, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. When you're anxious, your instinct is to do something, fix it, control it, eliminate it. But Watts would tell you, that's the ego talking. The ego believes it's separate from life, that it needs to control everything to survive. But you're not separate from life. You are life. When you stop trying to force the anxiety away, something miraculous happens. It loses its power. Not because you defeated it, but because you stopped giving it the one thing it needs to survive, your resistance. Watts put it this way, what you resist persists. Okay, so how do you actually apply this? Because philosophy is useless if it doesn't change how you live. Here's what Watts would tell you to do. Step 1. Notice when you're not in the present moment. Right now, as you're watching this, where is your mind? Is it here, or is it planning dinner, replaying an argument, worrying about tomorrow? Just notice. Don't judge it. Just see it. Step 2. Ask yourself, what problem do I have right now? Not in an hour, not tomorrow. Right now, in this exact second, 99% of the time. The answer is none. You're okay. You're breathing. You're alive. The problem only exists in your thoughts about the future. Step 3. Let the anxiety be there without trying to fix it. This is the hardest part. When anxiety shows up, your instinct is to fight it. Instead, Watts would say, observe it like you're watching clouds pass in the sky. Oh, there's anxiety. Interesting. Don't try to push it away. Don't try to understand it. Just let it be. And here's what Watts discovered. When you stop fighting anxiety, it transforms. Not into happiness, not into peace, but into something you can live with. Because the anxiety was never the problem. Your relationship with it was. Now, Watts would take this even deeper. He'd say, your anxiety isn't just about the future. It's about something more fundamental. You're anxious because you think you're a separate self that needs to be protected. Think about it. Every anxious thought is about me. Am I good enough? Will I be okay? What if I fail? But Watts spent his life studying a radical idea from Eastern philosophy. That separate self? It's an illusion. You're not an isolated ego trapped in a body fighting against the universe. You're an expression of the universe. Like a wave is an expression of the ocean. The wave might feel separate. It might feel anxious about crashing on the shore, but it was never separate from the ocean. It is the ocean, temporarily taking the form of a wave. Watts said, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself." When you really understand this, not intellectually, but in your bones, anxiety loses its grip. Because there's no separate you that needs to be protected. There's just life happening. And you're not outside of it trying to control it. You are it. But here's Watts's warning, and this is crucial. Don't turn this into another thing your ego tries to achieve. Your mind will try to do this. It'll say, "Okay, I need to stop being anxious. I need to live in the present moment. I need to realize I'm not separate." And now you're anxious about not being anxious enough. You're overthinking about not overthinking. See the trap? Watts would laugh at this. He'd say, trying to define yourself is like trying to bite your own teeth. You can't think your way out of overthinking. You can't achieve your way into presence. It's not something you do. It's something you stop doing. It's not about becoming someone different. It's about realizing you were never the person you thought you were in the first place. So here's what I want you to do after this video ends. For the next 60 seconds, just sit there. Don't check your phone. Don't scroll to the next video. Don't do anything. Just be here, right now. Notice your breath. Notice the sounds around you. Notice that you're alive in this moment. And ask yourself, what's his question? What problem do I have right now? Not in an hour, not tomorrow, right now. If you can do this, really do this, you'll understand what Watts spent his entire life trying to teach. The present moment is all you ever have, and it's enough. Your anxiety lives in the future. Your regrets live in the past. But you only exist right here, right now. And in this moment, you're okay. Watts said it best. This is the real secret of life. To be completely engaged with what you are doing in the here and now. And instead of calling it work, realize it is play. So stop fighting. Stop resisting. Stop trying to control what you can't control. Just be here. That's all there is. That's all there's ever been. Now, I want to hear from you. Watts said, "Muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone." What's making your water muddy right now? What are you trying to control that you need to let go of? Drop it in the comments. Be honest. And if this perspective shifted something for you, subscribe. Until next time, stop overthinking this video and just be.